Well, I think one of the things, that as adults, we unfortunately, most of us lose as we age is that whole concept of play. It's something that, especially for me as a father and just seeing that, just kind of unconditional kind of lack of anything else but just being in the now, especially when they're under 7 years old. It's almost a daily reminder for me that I'm grateful for, that sometimes, like, stop being so serious, stop kind of just focusing on, bang, 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 just to actually stop and play. And I think in particular, with your partner as well, like one of the things that you mentioned, like you have a ritual of kissing your partner, you have those rituals of trying to play. That's super important too, to having a successful relationship, because I think especially when you're working with that person, as we do, like it can be very hard to like separate. And so kind of being able to step back and just be fucking kids, right?
Yeah, and even just having peace at like parts of your your day or your week that's like we don't talk about work. We talk about us. We talk about future. We talk
Mm.
about and then yeah, you have that bit of play. So I think that's like a really important piece, especially for a lot of the hardworking people that are going to be listening to this podcast. It's like it's so hard to like make sure that we have time for our partners, and even something that comes up for a lot of my girls when they're embarking on a comp prep for the first time. It's like they don't have, you know, they're diving into the deep end of this whole new experience. And something I find with a lot of first time competitors is there's so much, they become so immersed in this comp prep. It's all they think about, all they talk about, and then their partners and their kids are
Mm.
like, kind of on the outside. And something I speak to them about is like, hey, you need to sit down and have a conversation with your partner and say, this is what is required of me, but I love you and I want to make sure that we are spending some time together, and what can we do together? How do we make this thing work so that the relationship here, because they're the biggest supporter, your partner becomes your supporter, right? And so it's like, well, how do I
Mm.
nurture them? How do I support them while they're supporting me? And how do I meet them in a way that's like we're still playful? And I think that's a really hard thing to navigate as well.